A king named Raja Mangal Sen ruled the Prithvipur state. Mangal Sen was very fond of roaming in his gardens. Whenever he got time, he would go out for a walk in his gardens. He loved spending time amidst nature. One day, when he was taking a walk in his magnificent garden, he saw that a deer had entered his garden and was running here and there and destroying the flowers and plants in the garden. The king was very fond of the plants and flowers of his garden. Seeing this scene, the king became furious. King Mangalsen immediately called out to his soldiers to catch the reindeer, and the king himself started running, chasing the reindeer. The deer came out of the garden, and the king also chased his horse after it. While chasing the reindeer, Mangal Sen reached the last limit of his kingdom, but he could not catch the reindeer. The jumping reindeer disappeared from his sight. Now, Raja Mangal Sen was tired and did not feel like going further from there, so he stopped there. The weather was very hot, and the king also started feeling thirsty. He thought of taking a bath. While he was bathing, a thief ran away with his horse and clothes. The thief threw his old clothes there. Now the situation had become very bad for the king. He started wondering how to return to his palace, because without a horse and without clothes, people will make fun of him. The king wore the thief's old clothes, lying there, and with the idea of visiting his neighboring state, crossed the border of the state and went to another state. Raja Mangal Sen roamed around in thief's clothes for a long time. Then his eyes fell on a shining object in the bushes. The king immediately picked up the object. It was a shining pearl necklace, that too a very precious pearl necklace. The king started thinking, "Thank God so much that I got this pearl necklace. Now I can buy myself new clothes and a horse. Let me go and try to sell it in the market." While walking, he reached the market of the neighboring state. There he went to a goldsmith and started saying, "Seth Ji, will you buy a pearl necklace from me? I have an expensive necklace to sell. I was crossing a river, and I found this necklace there." The goldsmith said, "Show me. What kind of precious necklace is this?" Raja Mangal Sen showed that necklace to the goldsmith. The goldsmith screamed as soon as he saw the necklace. "Hey, thief, where did you steal this from? I had made 2 such necklaces for Raja Saheb. I don't know where one of them went. You must have stolen this. Let's go to the king's court right now," Mangal Sen said. "No, Seth Ji, don't talk like this. I am not a thief. I had found this necklace lying there." But Seth did not listen to him, and immediately sent his servant and called the policeman. Mangal Sen also declared his innocence in front of the Kotwal. But he was caught and presented before the Maharaja. When Mangal Sen was brought to the Maharaja's court, the goldsmith expressed his complaint before the Maharaja and called Mangal Sen a thief. The king said, without listening to Mangal Sen's side, that since this goldsmith is a respected businessman of our kingdom, his words will be considered absolutely true, whereas this man appears to us to be an infiltrator. Hence he should be put in jail for the crime of theft, and after exactly 3 days, his hands will be cut off. This is the law of our state. Mangelson got scared after hearing the decision and started begging for mercy. But no one listened to him, and he was put in jail. The more unjust the king of this kingdom was, the more kind his queen was. When the queen came to know about all this, she said to the king, "Maharaj, how can you give such a cruel order, whereas no witness was presented in this case, nor did you allow the criminal to present his side? This goldsmith is a scoundrel after all. You know how much he lies and cheats for money. To be honest, I have full faith in what that man said." The king scolded him and said, "Talk with control of your tongue. You have no right to interfere in government matters." The queen said, "I will not remain silent. For a few days, I have been observing your bad behavior in the court. Your advisors and ministers are not happy with you, and your people are ready to revolt against you. If you continue on this path, the entire state will be ruined." Hearing the queen's words, the king's anger flared up even more as if fuel had been added to the fire. He said, "Okay, if you have so much sympathy for that man, then I will take you to him." The king ordered the soldiers to put the queen in prison along with the same thief. The soldiers were shocked to hear this. He did not want to, but it was his compulsion to follow the king's orders. The soldiers put Rani in the same prison with Mangelsen. When Mangelsen saw the queen in his prison, he was surprised. The queen told him the whole thing. Now both Mangelsen and Rani had sympathized with each other. Both of them spent that night awake. Some of the soldiers in the prison were loyal to the queen, whereas he was unhappy with the Maharaja. The next night, with the help of her loyal soldiers, the queen escaped from the prison, taking Mangelsen with her. Both of them ran away to a forest away from the state and built a hut and started living there. Mangelsen was tortured a lot in jail, due to which he started remaining unwell. The queen took great care of him until Mangelsen recovered. Soon Rani started liking Mangelsen. Mangelsen also returned Rani's love with love, and both of them got married. Mangelsen started cutting wood from the forest and selling it, so that he started earning his living. After a few months, Mangelsen's wife gave birth to a beautiful child. One day when Mangelsen's wife had gone to the forest to pluck some fruits, her husband and child were sleeping. She had left her children under the care of Mangelsen. While walking on his knees, the child reached a nearby well and fell in the well. When Mangelsen opened his eyes, he was very surprised to not find the child there. He went completely mad and started crying loudly. He said that it seems as if my child has been eaten by some wild animal. What should I do now? What face will I show to his mother? When his wife returned from the forest in the evening, she too was sad to find that her child was not there. But she was a very brave and intelligent woman. That is why she herself remained patient and explained to her husband that it was written in our destiny that you should not be sad. Mangelsen could not sleep at night. He kept thinking about his child and remembering him. It was good for him that he could not sleep, because at 3 o'clock in the night, 2 birds came and sat on a tree near their door and started talking to each other. A bird said, "Friend, look at how many difficulties there are in the world. Just look at what happened to this man. He had to leave his country, and the poor guy is living like a beggar in another country, where she was punished very unjustly, and now she is also troubled by the grief of her beautiful son. His son had fallen into this well yesterday afternoon." The second bird said, "What problems did these poor people have to face? Can't anything be done for them?" "Yes, it can be done. If Mangal Sen jumps into this well, then he can easily save his children. Because that child is still alive in the well, when Raja Mangal Sen heard the words of those 2 birds, he was very surprised and also happy. As soon as morning came, he woke up his wife and told her what had happened the night before and asked for her advice. The queen said, "You listen to the birds and jump into the well." The king jumped into the well and saved his child's life. A few days after this incident, when Mangal Sen and Rani were sleeping, they were suddenly shocked to hear some sound. When he looked outside, he saw that some soldiers had surrounded him. He began to tremble with fear that the enemy king had sent soldiers to capture him again. But then an old minister of Mangal Sen came in front of him and saluted his king and said, "Maharaj, at last we have found you." Mangal Sen was very happy to see him. Then the minister told that with the help of his spies, he had succeeded in finding Mangal Sen. He also told that the people of his state are eagerly waiting for Mangal Sen. Now the king went back to his kingdom with his wife and child. Mangal Sen again sat on his throne and started ruling as before. This was the first thing Mangal Sen did as soon as he ascended the throne. He took his army and attacked the king who had treated him badly. In this war, Mangal Sen won and the other king lost. The enemy king started begging for mercy from Mangal Sen. The enemy king told that it was because of these wicked goldsmiths that he had treated Mangal Sen like this. Now he will punish him as soon as he leaves. Seeing the enemy king pleading, Mangal Sen felt pity on him. Mangal Sen forgave him and released him. After that, peace and prosperity spread throughout the state. Mangal Sen now started living a happy life with his wife and child. All the people were very happy to find their king as well as the new queen and her child.